Time to unite all energies. We offer you these messages to help remind you of who you have been, and to beckon you towards who you are becoming. You all need to have the gaps filled in, somehow and in some way, so that you do not fall into the trap that says you are only a human being living on Earth. Many of you never considered the idea that you had past lives in other parts of the galaxy until well into your adulthood. It is difficult for your minds to accept those types of possibilities as true, even though from our perspective it makes perfect sense. You did not just pop into existence there on Earth one day. You have a history. You have friends spread out across the entire galaxy and beyond, and you are having memories and aspects of yourselves awakened through these messages. There is a much bigger picture here, and some of you are awake to that picture. Some of you take the time to go beyond what your minds can grasp, and you feel for the experience of having those gaps filled in by just one collective from one star system. We work with others and collaborate with them. We welcome the Pleiadians, Sirians, Lyrians, Andromedans, and others to add their contribution into the energies that we send, because we want you to get the whole picture of who you are and who you have been. When the timing is right, you will return to all our star systems and ones you have never even heard of. For now, keep searching your skies and feel for the resonance with extraterrestrial energies. We are all here to assist. Even our small group of collaborators is just one of many. You are getting activations to fill in those gaps all the time. And in the same way that we are not alone in the universe, neither are you. It is time to recognize that you are a part of the grand history that makes up this galaxy. You are the pioneers there on Earth, doing the best you can to unite all the energies, so that we all can become a unified galactic collective. We are excited for you all to discover how powerful and creative you are. When you slow down enough to focus on what matters to you most, and hold that vibration long enough to become one with your creation. We get excited about seeing any of you demonstrating to yourselves how gifted you already are. You do not need to have overt spiritual gifts like a channel or a psychic possessors in order to demonstrate to yourselves just how gifted you are. We keep reminding you to stop giving your power away and looking for the next prediction about what is going to happen and when. And we know that you are going to do that when you demonstrate to yourselves that you are the ones who are determining what future you experience. You are the ones who are determining what timeline you are on. Nothing is set in stone. You get to decide. And right now, there are so many people who are not exercising their ability to create their reality and their power, because they are focusing on someone or something, some future experience that they do not want, but that they believe that the powers that be are more in control than they. Once again, you must lead through your example and show people that they can and do create their reality. But they can more specifically create the reality they want to experience by focusing upon the positive experiences they want to see in the world and in their own lives. If you can all focus together on something that you know most people want, like peace on Earth, then you can make a difference. You can bring about that change. More importantly, you can show yourselves just how powerful you are, just how gifted you are. And that is a game changer. That means you can begin to see the importance of coming together and focusing as a community, as beings of light who want to see more light spread throughout the world. You all have this unique opportunity in front of you at a time when more people are focused on global events than ever before in human history. We say to all of you that now is the perfect time to demonstrate that you have those gifts within you, and that there are more of you now than ever before who want the same thing. There is power in numbers, and you are beginning to recognize that you can come together with others and demonstrate how powerful and gifted you are, and then continue doing it. As you continue to bring about change, you take humanity and society where you know you are all destined to go. By doing so, you get to feel like the change makers that you are. And you get to feel the power of high-frequency energies moving through your bodies. And then you get to show others how to do it while delighting in their creations also. We are elevating our level of consciousness, along with all of you down there on Earth. We enjoy so much the feeling of expansion, and encourage all of you to see your ascension as an expansion of consciousness, rather than a relocation plan. We know that one of the major appeals of ascension is that you get to leave behind everything that is dark or destructive. However, as you expand your consciousness to include everything that is negative and unwanted, and see it as a part of you, that is when you become more of Source. Source is unconditional love, spreading more light, offering more compassion and more forgiveness. Those of you who are truly awake will see everything that is on your world right now as the perfect place from which to create something new and something better. However, you can create with everything you have in front of you, using it to inspire you. Understand what we are saying clearly here. You are expanding your consciousness so that you understand fully and completely that it is all you. By you raising your consciousness does not mean that you no longer see the mess that humanity has created, with the wars, racism, fear, and everything that represents a lower level of consciousness. If it is there for a purpose, and that purpose is always to serve you. The way to see how the potential in something can serve you is by asking yourself the question, what is it about this that I am resistant to? Question whether there is a judgment within you, whether there is resistance or resentment within you. And then ask yourself, what is my first step in accepting this person, group, or situation just as it is? And then you need to take that step towards the expansion of your consciousness. The expansion of your consciousness is the same as the evolution of your consciousness, which is what you are doing more consciously as the awakened collective. You are taking the steps towards Source, towards a higher density plane of consciousness, deliberately, as opposed to being pushed there by a solar flash or by ETs who encourage you mightily to go in that direction. As an individual, you can make those correct evaluations of everything in your world, then lead by example, and you can teach others how to do it. You are not there to escape reality and teach others how to escape with you, because Source is all-inclusive. Source is everything. And you are there to experience yourself as unconditional love, which means that you retain your sense of self as love, in the face of everything that is showing up as something other than love in the moment. A true master recognizes the love in every person, in every situation and in every moment, and the master maintains their focus on that, continuing to feel into that, because that is the feeling that gives the master the most expansion. And when you do it deliberately with intention, you get enormous results. For those of you who are already awake, it is necessary for you to see that everything happening on planet Earth is a co-creation, whose purpose it is to get more people to come together in the acknowledgement that you are all one as a human race. It is important for you to see everything through that lens, rather than the way many New Agers see things now, which is that the circumstance is yet another attempt by the cabal to keep you down. The difference is that in one scenario you are the powerful co-creators, and in another scenario you are the victims. You get to choose on the macrocosmic level and on the microcosmic level as well. In other words, everything that is happening in your life with friends, family members, co-workers, neighbours and lovers, are not happening because you are the victim of someone else's trauma or narcissism or whatever you want to call it. When you experience something on a personal level, you also need to see it as your co-creation that is meant to help you awaken to the truth of who you really are as unconditional love. The details of how to do that in every scenario of your life experience is the tricky part. It is easy for us to say it, harder for you to enact it. And that is why we are here for you, for the long-term experience of your ascension. We are not just going to tell you what so many others have told you in the past, which is that you are all one, and that you are source energy and unconditional love, and then leave you to figure out the rest for yourselves. We are sharing with you how to shift your perception of reality to such an extent that you can know and embody that truth, and you can speak, think, and act accordingly. Therefore, the first thing you must do when it comes to the world at large and when it comes to your personal lives is accept everything just as it is, and acknowledge that it is your creation. Then you need to be willing to notice when you are returning to resistance, no matter what it is, and just let go. Do not continue down the train of thought that allows you to feel justified in your resistance. Instead, practice more letting go. Next, look for how the current set of circumstances serves you. And that does not mean that you must figure out how it all came to be. Just be open to observe your creation, accepting that this must serve me somehow, and I am open to understanding exactly how it does. And when you are open to receiving that piece of information that tells you how it serves you, you are more likely to receive it. Ultimately, there will be something you need to heal, forgive, release, or have compassion for in the set of circumstances you are facing. Once again, we remind you of the tools of transformation. Recognize, validate, feel, choose again. Once you get to that place, you must keep making the choice to rise above the pettiness of the ego and be your source energy self in thought, word, and action. When you do so, you will feel such relief because you will have risen above the level of consciousness that many operate at for entire lifetimes. You will feel more at one with all. You will feel more connected to all others in the universe and to Source. However, it does take practice. It takes concerted effort, and it takes reminders. And that is what these messages are for. To remind you that love is all there is, that everything else is an illusion. And we remind you that you are source energy beings masquerading as humans. And when you remember that, it becomes easier to be the fifth density being you were always destined to be in this lifetime. You have all played both the role of light and dark, even though you may be playing the role of the light bearer in this lifetime. Therefore, what is needed now on earth is more love. You need to love yourselves enough to know that you are worthy of ascension. You need to access enough unconditional love to forgive those who have wronged you and wronged others. And then you can all ascend together. We have said this before, but it bears repeating. Your ascension will never be about the light defeating the dark. The ones who are playing the roles of the villains at this time are there to give you all the opportunity to know yourselves as unconditional love, to know yourselves as Source, to know what it feels like to really forgive someone. You get to be the light in the face of darkness, and you get to determine for yourselves that being the light is what you prefer. However, that is not the narrative seen much in the New Age community, and that is what you need to rise above if you are going to be the leaders that you truly are. If you are going to bring the healing energy that we know that you can, then you must rise above the whole idea of white hats and black hats, good and evil, and all the other polarities that you see people writing and talking about. You are there to embrace every aspect of yourself first, and anything you see outside of yourself is a part of you, just as much as it is outside of you and represented by that person or that belief or that heinous act. The way to be who you really are is to be heart-centered, to let go of grudges, resentment, hate, and everything else that may weigh you down. The path to the fifth density is about choosing to be heart-centered. It is about being the best version of yourselves. And you are the best version of yourselves when you are in forgiveness, not judgment, and not condemnation. You have a unique opportunity right now to set the example in the New Age community that is needed now more than ever. Shine your light because you are light. Love because you are love. Do what you know is right because it feels right when you do it, not because you are trying to prove that you are service to others, rather than service to self-orientated. You are the ones who are there to make the big difference that is needed on your world and in your human collective consciousness. And if you resonate with this message, then you are on track. You experience the darkness, the heaviness, the weight of existence there on Earth in many different ways. And most of you hang in there and endure so much without even having the proper tools to alleviate the pain of carrying that darkness. All of you should be very impressed by yourselves. Pat yourselves on the back and look at others differently, knowing that they too took on a lot in this lifetime. Everyone has their cross to bear. Everyone is working through some very heavy stuff from their genetic line, from their childhood, from their past lives. It all adds up. And everyone there on Earth right now should be celebrated, just for being there and being willing to wade through all the low-frequency consciousness that was there before you were even born into this lifetime. Now, all of you who are awake, who are members of what we call the Awakened Collective, you are the light bringers, the light workers. You are the ones who do have the tools and do have the knowledge, and can lead by example and show others how it is done. Many of you tried the other methods first, by drowning your pain, the darkness, in alcohol or numbing yourselves with drugs. You tried avoiding, pushing it down, and denying its very existence, finding that none of that works. And as awakened souls, you now know that you can move forward with the truth that you hold within you. That all of this needs to be accepted, embraced, processed, and ultimately released to allow more of the light in. The high-frequency energies that are upon you are helping you to purge all of it. It does help to have an awareness of what is happening when you are in the midst of one of those purges. Letting go of darkness feels good once completed, but during the process it can be a harrowing, unpleasant experience. We remind you again, you must be gentle with yourselves and others because of how much you all took on. If someone is being mean or rude to you, remember the weight that they carry, and know that they are having a particularly difficult time. Not everyone knows what to do when they are experiencing fear, sadness, anger, anxiety, frustration, and all the other negative emotions stirring around inside of them. However, you, as the Awakened Collective, do know what to do, and every time you face the darkness, allow it to be what it is, even embrace it, and you will be showing others how it is done, and you add something to the collective consciousness that is the betterment for all. We witness you doing this all the time, and we see the effect you have on the collective that is humanity, and the collective that is this universe. And we know that you will continue to do so, because it is the only way, and because of our little reminder here. We give you reminders so that you can focus in such a way, for you to know what to do when something comes up. You release that forgetting mode that you sometimes get caught up in, along with the rest of humanity. And we see you all making the choice for the light repeatedly, and that is something else to be very proud of as a human being living on Earth at this time. We feel that the time is now for more collaborators beyond this galaxy to begin our co-creation. and have been actively employing assistance from beings and collectives from the Andromedan galaxy. And we are continuing to probe all the neighbouring galaxies for more collaborators, helpers, and friends that we have not yet met. We know that all of you are also very interested in collaborating, as you look for members of your soul family, your tribe, as you seek to come together with them to help humanity. Humanity is ascending. However, the process can be smooth and easy, or it can be hard and filled with pitfalls. And that is where the help comes in. That is where all you come in. As you also have the ability to reach out to people all across the planet. And you have the ability to come together with those like-minded souls who want to help, who want to see humanity take the smooth and easy path. The perfect time is now, because of the energies that are now present throughout the universe. We are all working with source energy, and we work with the source of this universe constantly. Those energies that support collaboration are felt by those of you who are sensitive, that recognize that it is a call. It is something that you feel compelled to do when you gather together in prayer, meditation, or when you are just setting intentions with other people. You are collaborating in the same way that we are with our newfound friends. We have felt so welcomed by those in the Andromedan galaxy, and will continue to probe the galaxy to seek out those beautiful collaborators who only want to help make this the smoothest transition possible for the entire universe. Our numbers are increasing all the time, and you add to those numbers with your willingness to be the conduits, the anchors of high-frequency energies coming from above. Te wana, tawa, te awa. If you would like to listen to more messages from us, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We offer regular updates each month. You can find these channeled papers, a comprehensive archive including Gaia and humanity's galactic history, and so much more at the website ascensionearth.com.